It was a war that tore a nation apart, a war fueled by politics, power, and ethnic hatred, a war that left over 1 million people dead, most of them civilians. This is the story of the Nigerian Civil War. Nigeria is a black nation with a population of over 200 million black people, and recorded as the most populous black nation in the world, and she was bedeviled by civil war in 1967. The Nigerian Civil War, also known as the Biafra War, was a devastating conflict that lasted from July 6, 1967 to January 15, 1970. It was fought between the Nigerian government and the secessionist state of Biafra, led by Lieutenant Colonel Odumegwu Ojukwu. The war resulted in widespread devastation, economic decline, and the loss of millions of lives. To fully understand the war, it is crucial to analyze its causes and impact. In 1967, Nigeria was the fourth African nation to go through a civil war. Preceding her were Sudan, the Congo, and Chad. After her came the civil wars in Eritrea, Ethiopia, Angola, Mozambique, Uganda, Liberia, Rwanda, Djibouti, Sierra Leone, Algeria, Somalia, Burundi, Congo, Guinea-Bissau, Ivory Coast, Central African Republic, Chad, Mali, Libya, and South Sudan. The 30-month civil war was preceded by a configuration of pre-independence and post-independence challenges. The origins of the Civil War could be located in a complexity of factors ranging from the remote, which include the structural imbalance of the Nigerian Federation, the asymmetrical distribution of power among the various ethnic and geopolitical groups, census controversy of 1962-1964, the federal elections of 1964, the regional election crisis in Western Nigeria in 1965, etc. The immediate causes, however, include the military coup d'état of January 15th and July 29th, 1966, the pogrom of the Igbo, living in northern Nigeria from May to September 1966, and the declaration of Biafra state. What then are root causes of the Nigerian Civil War? Ethnic and regional tensions. Nigeria, as a colonial construct, brought together diverse ethnic groups, primarily the Hausa Fulani in the north, the Yoruba in the southwest, and the Igbo in the southeast. Political and economic disparities between these groups fostered mistrust and rivalry, setting the stage for future conflicts. 2. The 1966 coup and ethnic violence. The first military coup on January 15, 1966, led by mostly Igbo officers, overthrew the civilian government. This was perceived by the northern elites as an attempt by the Igbo to dominate Nigeria. The counter-coup of July 29, 1966, orchestrated mainly by northern officers, led to the assassination of Major General Johnson Aguiyi Ironsi, Nigeria's first military head of state. This coup resulted in mass killings of Igbo people in the north, triggering mass migration back to the southeastern region. 3. The eastern region's secession. In response to the massacres and the breakdown of negotiations between the eastern region and the federal government, Lieutenant Colonel Ojukwu declared the independence of Biafra on May 30, 1967. The Nigerian government, under General Yakubu Gowon, rejected this declaration, leading to military confrontation. 4. Control of oil resources. The southeastern region of Nigeria, where Biafra was located, was rich in oil resources. The federal government and foreign interests, particularly British and Western oil companies, were unwilling to lose control over this lucrative sector, contributing to the urgency of military action against Biafra. 5. International influence. The war had international dimensions, with countries like the UK, USSR, and Egypt supporting the Nigerian government, while France, Israel, and some African countries provided aid to Biafra. The war became a Cold War proxy conflict, with superpowers backing different sides for strategic reasons. The impact of the Nigerian Civil War was so devastating that impact is still felt in the country to this day. 1. Humanitarian crisis and genocide. The war led to the deaths of an estimated 1 to 3 million people, mostly due to starvation and malnutrition caused by the Nigerian government's blockade of Biafra. The images of starving Biafran children shocked the world, bringing international attention to the crisis. 2. Economic devastation. The war severely crippled Nigeria's economy. Infrastructure in the eastern region was destroyed, industries collapsed, and the economic disparity between different regions widened. The war also led to widespread unemployment and poverty. 3. Political and military consequences. After the war, Nigeria remained under military rule for several years. The war strengthened the role of the military in Nigerian politics, leading to decades of coups and counter-coups before the return to civilian rule in 1999. 4. Social and ethnic relations. The war deepened ethnic divisions in Nigeria. The Igbos, who suffered immensely during the war, faced discrimination and economic setbacks. However, the Nigerian government adopted a no victor, no vanquished policy to promote national unity, though reconciliation efforts were limited. 5. Influence on African and global politics. The Biafran struggle became a symbol of self-determination movements worldwide. The conflict influenced debates on minority rights, secession, and humanitarian intervention in post-colonial Africa and beyond. The Nigerian Civil War, 1967-1970, taught crucial lessons. Ethnic and religious divisions fueled the conflict, showing the need for national unity. Weak leadership and political mistrust escalated tensions, proving that strong, inclusive governance is vital. The war devastated Nigeria's economy, leaving long-term financial hardships, while over 1 million civilians, mostly Biafrans, died, highlighting the immense human cost of war. Foreign powers influenced the conflict, demonstrating how external interests shape African wars. Biafra's use of propaganda showed how information control can impact global perception. Post-war reconciliation efforts like Gowon's no victor, no vanquish policy helped but failed to fully heal wounds, leading to lingering tensions. Ultimately, the war proved that diplomacy is always better than war. The tragedy of Biafra remains a reminder that unity, justice, and dialogue must be prioritized to prevent future conflicts. War should always be the last option. The Nigerian Civil War remains one of the most significant and tragic events in African history. Its causes, ethnic tensions, political instability, and resource control, continue to shape Nigerian politics. The impact of the war is still felt today, influencing economic policies, ethnic relations, and governance in Nigeria. Understanding the war is essential for fostering unity and preventing future conflicts in the country and across Africa. What do you think? Was Biafra's secession justified? Could Nigeria have prevented this tragedy? Let us know in the comments below. Please subscribe, like, and share for more history documentaries.